Happy New Year. How are we today? Happy New Year. We are diving in today. Can you believe it? 2023. Wow. So now we've had this YouTube channel up for a while and this Facebook group up for a while. And so now you can look back at other years and be like, wow, we were so amazed that it was 2020 or whatever. So super happy to have you guys here. I see people showing up. So glad to have you here. Happy New Year. Go ahead and say hello in the chat. Say, what's up? What are your New Year's? What's going on? Tell me everything. I want to know everything about your lives. We're going to dive in today and we're going to talk about story. January is the month of story here at Hollywood Gatekeepers. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about story. We're going to talk about story first. Your story, the story of your life, the story of the life that you want to create, the story of the life for you for 2023. We're going to dive right in and we're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, she says with confidence. It will be fun. I always love these. I love being able to kind of connect with you guys, get to know you a little bit better, let you know what we have going here at Hollywood Gatekeepers, learn more about your lives, and figure out what's going on. So we're going to dive into story. We do have an event on January 21st where we are doing a full day thing on Zoom together. That's a paid event. This is free, obviously, but we're doing a paid event where you can dive in and really understand story. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun if we started with your new year right out the gate this year, creating the story that you want for yourself for 2023. So I have actually a handout that you guys will get, and I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through it. And we're going to ask some questions about your life and what is the story that you create. And that's the great thing about being a reader and being involved in storytelling is that as readers, we get to help people create the story that they want in their screenplay, right? We're really, really focused on the story. That's what we're all about as readers. We're kind of the only one in the process that's really focused on just the story. Writers are focused on their career and how this fits in the whole thing and the message they want to get across and all of that. Producers are insanely busy and juggling a million things and they're trying to figure out how this project fits within their world. But we as readers, we read that screenplay and we go, does the story work? I mean, it's a pretty basic question. There's so many nuances to it, but we look at that story and those things are still in there. The messaging and the subtext and all of that is part of it. But we're constantly just focused on the story. That's all we really care about. Like we're really focused on that. So as we dive in, I mean, there's many things we care about along that, but as we dive in with all of these nuances, we're focused on how does this work for a story? And so that's really, really why we talk about it a lot. It's why we decided to do a full day event where I compare Shrek and The Matrix and I show you how they're the same movie. And how Donkey and Morpheus are the same sidekick. And we really dive into that. And then this year we've added 4 additional movies on top of that. So it's going to be really fun. And so I really wanted to dive in today and talk about story in terms of your life and then tell you more about that. So Happy New Year. See you guys. Texas weather. Is it cold? I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm not sure right now. So Texas weather, I'm seeing there's a lot of emojis in there to unpack. So good to see you, Katrina. Hey there. Hey, Marceline. So great to see people here. Loving you guys coming in. So let's talk about your story. Let me share my screen and let's do this. Let's talk about the story of your life. And we often, as readers, one of the things that makes you a good reader and makes you able to help makes you really able to help people that are writing screenplays is when you're really focused on like making that story authentic. And one of the best ways, and this might seem a little out there, and I don't really see a lot of people making these comparisons, but once you compare a story to your life, when you compare the crazy characters in the screenplay to the crazy characters you have sitting around your dinner table, it really kind of makes it to where, one, your life is better. That's one of our goals. It might sound kind of silly, but it's one of our goals in Hollywood Gatekeepers is to make your life better, to figure out a way that you can write the story of your life. You can have the life that you want. You can have the things that you want to do. You can live a life that's full of contentment. And we're not like gauging for you got to be happy all the time because life is messy and awful and wonderful and great and terrible and traumatic and cool. So many things, right? It's beautiful and sloppy and messy. And so we want you to be able to experience all of it and stay as content and even as possible. The more that you can do that in your life, the better reader you will be. Because the more that you understand that in your life, the more you can take a story and really make it authentic, really pull in those sloppy parts of life and put it into an authentic screenplay. So Happy New Year, more Happy New Year's coming in. Loving seeing you guys show up. So let me share my screen. Hold on a moment. It's like, here we go, technology. Where is it? Share my screen. They moved it. Okay, hold on. I'll find it. Present, maybe? Present slides, perhaps? No. Hold on. Maybe they took it out. Okay, so what we'll do, because I'm not seeing, I think they may have like platforms. So I'm living proof that you do not have to be tech savvy in order to be a reader. Maybe, oh, here we go. Let's try that. Nope. Nope. All right, well, I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm going to give you a link here. The anticipation, right? We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. What I'll do is I will give you the link so that you can, hello, people diving in, so that you can dive in to the handout. I'm not gonna give up just yet. Okay, it's giving me instructions that aren't helping. Thank you, Denise. You guys are so patient. I love it. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity as well as you organize your life in 2023. You've got plans. I like to see that. I like to see big plans. So if you want me to see your name, because there's a lot of people I can't. I'm seeing a lot of hellos. I'm seeing people say, hi, Gary, but I don't see Gary's name in here. I see Denise's name. So if you want me to be able to see your name, you just need to comment at the description at the top of the chat box, scroll down to the StreamYard link, and then give it permission to give your name, to post your name. It doesn't give any other permission than that. There's nothing, doesn't like open any portals into your life. All it does is make it so that your name appears on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the link. We have a link for you, and you'll see that this link, let me describe it a little bit more before I share it. You'll see that this link has all of the information about our live event that's happening in January. And if you scroll down on this link, you'll see that there's a section that says, let me look and see the actual wording, an example of the power of story, how to write your own. You want to scroll down to that, and on that little section is a link that you can click and get the free handout. So it's just so that I can give you access to this free handout. So I'm going to share that. And then if someone else could put it in the chat, that's going straight to our YouTube channel. So it's HollywoodGatekeepers.com/story. That is the link. If someone could put it in the chat for the Facebook group, for some reason, when I can't put links into the Facebook group, I can only put it to the YouTube channel. Welcome to technology. So I'm demonstrating persistence. I hope it's inspiring. So it's HollywoodGatekeepers.com. Let me put it up on the screen as well. That will help. That I can do for sure. Watch me do that. Just boom. So there is HollywoodGatekeepers.com/story. So that way you can at least take a look at that. And again, scroll down, and you'll see a section that says write your own story. And when you see that, there's a little thing that says click here for the handout. You can click on that and you'll be able to see the handout. And I'm going to ask you the questions on it anyway, so you don't absolutely have to have it. But I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to ask you these questions, and we're going to go through this handout that we have. And then you guys can go to HollywoodGatekeepers.com/story and you can get the handout for yourself. But basically, I want to ask you, what is the story that you want to create for yourself? So the quality of your life is often determined by the questions that you ask. You want to be as curious as you possibly can. You want to be living your life with a big old childish why. Why? I want to do this. Why? I want to make it this way. Why? I want to become a reader. Why? The more that you can be curious, the more that you can come without judgment, just with a childlike curiosity, the more that you can start building, answering those questions, which then leads you to understanding what's behind the reasons for the things that you want. And so when you answer some questions, I'm going to ask you a few questions. And these are kind of questions that I've laid out that have helped me, that have helped our students, that have helped people in our programs. And so I don't know how many of you know the writer's rule. One of the writer's rule as you're writing is first thought, best thought. It's just to write down the first thing, just the first thing that comes to you. So grab your pad, grab your pencil, or if you're driving, listen and think, and you can do the handout later. You're a grown adult, you can do this however you want, but it really will help you more if you're able to just sit and write. So first thought, best thought is a concept that, especially when you're doing things about your life, that you write down the first thing that comes to you, because that will give you an insight. And sometimes the first thing that comes to you might be negative. It might be like something that's based in fear. But whatever, it doesn't matter. No judgment. It's just to give you an insight of what you're feeling, what you think, all of that. So, and then after you finish these questions that I give you, take a little time to look them over. And then I highly, highly recommend, and this is the perfect place to do it, share it in the Facebook group if you want. Find a study buddy. When you share it out loud, there's something that happens that solidifies when you do that. So the more that you can share your plans, share the things, and we'll do that in a moment. I'll ask you some questions that, and ask you to share. So ask yourself, okay, let's take a look, Wayne and Garth it. Let's go back in time to 2022, the beginning of 2022, when I was here at First Monday going, welcome to 2022. And we were doing, I'm sure we were doing something similar to this. What happened for you in 2022? What happened? Do tell. What happened? What's the first thing that popped into your mind when you think of 2022? What happened? What's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it something good? Is it something not so good? Is it something that happened yesterday? Is it, oh no, it wouldn't have been yesterday. It's happened 2 days ago. Last year, way back last year, 3 days ago. Or maybe it's something that happened. We did a screening of a movie that in May that is coming out hopefully soon. We did a private screening for the actors of a film that I wrote. That was awesome. That happened for me in 2022. Like, what are some of the things that happened? And when you think about those things, look and see like what's coming up for you. What's more coming up for you, the negatives or the positives of the things that happened in 2022 for you? And so really like what, just look at that and then think about it. What did you learn? When you think about all the things that happened in 2022, what did you learn about the thing, that you were doing? It was a big year of learning for me in 2022. What did you learn about yourself? It was a huge learning about myself in 2022. As you look at that, what did you learn? Did you learn a new skill? Did you learn something that you now know how to get in this Facebook group? I thought I learned how to share my screen. Apparently not. So did you learn how to do, some tactical thing? Did you learn something about the world? Did you learn something about your beliefs? Did you learn something about a friend of yours? Like, what are some of the things that you learned? And primarily, what did that make you learn about yourself? I've been working with a new coach in 2022, and he has helped me really like understand and do some things that really made me learn about myself and really made me start to feel like I don't anymore feel this need to be something different, change my whole being, like change myself. It's more that I want to just relax and allow and trust and allow things to happen. And he's helped me get there. So what are some of the things that you've learned about yourself that are good, are bad, are like, ooh, that's something I want to change about myself? I've had quite a few of those this year too. Like, what are some of the things that you've learned? And when you set your goals in 2022, think back to this time last year. What were some of the goals that you set? Do you remember what they were and what happened to those goals? And we talk about this a lot in our programs of when you set goals and you become really rigid about, I'm going to do this. Sometimes it's harder to do those goals. And sometimes we set these New Year's resolutions. I can't really say it without quite mocking it, because we set these New Year's resolutions because someone has determined that this is the time and space that we do that. We did Happy New Year, and then we all hugged each other and we were all like, time is just a construct. as we were celebrating and going with it, but we've decided that this is the time of the year where we shake the blanket and we start again, which I think is really important, and we need to do that. But often we set these pretty intense goals, and then February comes along, we're like, what were they again? So one of the things that we recommend, let me just take a quick look. One of the things that we recommend is that rather than set these, like, I'm going to, do these specific goals, that you pick a word for the year. And those of you in our programs are like, we know this. So you pick a word that reflects the thing that you want for this year. So as you look at what you learned last year, and you look at the things that you learned about yourself, that maybe you learned about the world at large, start to look now at standing on the shoulders of what you learned in the past and saying to yourself, okay, so now what is possible? What is possible for me in this lovely new year? What's possible in the world at large? What are some, and if things come up when you say what's possible and anything negative comes up, breathe it out and just think about, like, open up to what are the possibilities. And when you think about all of this and you put it all in mind, what is it time to initiate and create in your life? What do you want to create? What is something that you want to create this year? And what is a word that would reflect that? If it's that you want to become a reader, you want to write your screenplay, or you want to buy a house, or you want whatever, you want to find a love relationship, whatever it might be, then think of a word that will help you do that, whether it's persistence, courage, ease, whatever it might be. And then that way, if you just have a word, one word, instead of a bunch of resolutions, then you can use that word. And when you go to make choices throughout the year and you think, okay, I'm going to take this class, or I'm going to go write on my screenplay, right? Today, I'm going to sit down and write. And you're trying to make a decision about, should I write or should I go do this other thing? And you use your word. Okay, persistence was my word because I want to do this thing. Now make this decision based on that. And it just makes it so that you can make decisions throughout the year that stick to the goal that you wanted for the year, as opposed to being so rigid about, a list of resolutions. So you can ease into different things and you can kind of weigh, and it kind of makes it a little bit easier. So when you think about what do you want to initiate, what do you want to create for yourself? What story do you want to tell at the end of the year? Wow, in 2023, this is my story. What's the story that you want to create for yourself? And so what do you need to put in place to make that story happen? Is it that you need to put in place a routine? Maybe you need to put in place different friends. This is called inevitability thinking, where you're like, the thing will happen. That's not the issue. It's like, I just need to put the steps in place, right? The more you can trust that whatever it is that you've decided is the thing that you want for 2023, whatever that is, okay, let's do it. So what needs to be in place to make that happen? Like being very easy about it. That will help you be more committed to it. I recommend that you share it in the Facebook group, share it with your family, put it out there. The more that you put it out there, more it makes you commit to it. I want to accomplish this certain thing. And it doesn't have to be, I want to write my screenplay. It can be, I want to have more joy in my life. It doesn't have to be some big old accomplishment, some task. It can be a way of living. I want to live with more ease. I want to be healthier. I want whatever it might be. And I wouldn't put too many things on your plate of all the things you want to do. And that's why coming back to that one word could fit with all things. So my word for this year, I thought was going to be trust. And on New Year's Eve, it was like, no, that's not quite feeling it. My word is ease. So as I move into different, health decisions, does doing this particular thing bring me more ease, or does it bring me more stress? And so it will help me just make those choices in every single element of my life. So if you can find a word, persistence or courage is a good one, or reset, or whatever it might be, does this thing that I'm choosing to do create the thing that I want in the end, whether it's living with more joy or whether it's finishing a screenplay? They can be tactical, they can be life-based, they can be whatever you want them to be. Let me take a look at your comments real quick. So you know what one of your goals are, you need more knowledge to execute it. So that's perfect, Kathy. You're laying out the thing, contentment and evolving. Love that, Denise. So you guys are already coming up with these great words, right? So now you need more knowledge to execute it. So then it's about what are the things that you need to set up around you to find it, where there's so much available to us. It's so exciting that we have there's so much free content. For one, there's so many things, Google and YouTube, and there's so many places that we can learn the things that we want. We're so fortunate now at the way that we can have knowledge at our fingertips. And so anything is possible in terms of learning how to do stuff. So what can you put in place to make that happen? And then what can you put in place to really take a good step, within the next 90 days? What are the rituals you need to put in place? Some of them might need to be internal. You might need to be, breathing. She said, right as I say that, might instinctively take a big breath. So that says a little something, right? It might be an internal thing where you just need to take a breath and relax and move into it. It might just be that. You need to get your best buddy with you and do it together. You need to eliminate that wonk wonk person. We talk a lot in our programs about the wonk wonk people. Who has a wonk wonk person in their life? Raise your hand. Who goes nah, wonk 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 wonk. That'll never happen because wonk wonk wonk. And we see it a lot in Hollywood Gatekeepers and people that come in. They have readers already. There's no way. Blah, blah, blah. And so, sorry, that's how they sound in my head. Because there are those people, and they're a lot of them, bless their hearts, are trying to protect you because they love you. So they're saying, oh no, don't do that because it scares me. Don't you go for your dream because that makes me uncomfortable. So we want to breathe. We want to give them as much love as possible. And sometimes they're family. And so you don't really want to get rid of them, but you need to learn to not have them be the people that are in your ear. So as you're looking for knowledge and you're looking for encouragement, and you're looking for, how can you do the thing that you want to do? Listen to podcasts, listen to people that inspire you. It doesn't even have to be people you know. You can get that. If you can get that inner circle supporting you, all the better. But it doesn't have to be that. You can, I've had times, like struggling times, where I'm just like 24/7. I'm just listening to I'm just like picking the people that for the thing that I need that are going to inspire me. Sometimes it's Brooke Castillo, who's she's very much a blue collar. Let's get this done. You got this. We got this. And then sometimes there are people that are just, have a lot of ease and flow. We're just going to relax into it. Depends on what I need. I need someone to kind of kick me in gear, or I need someone to go, you're okay. It's all right. Just calm down. So find those people. They're everywhere. There's so many podcasts. There's so many YouTube channels. There's so many things that you can use to shift yourself internally. And then what do you need externally? Do you need to create a little space? It's really smart to create a space that is your workspace, so that you can come in there every day and it has a vibe in that. When I sit down at this desk, that's what this room is for me. When I come in here, it's to get things done or do lives or whatever it might be. So to create, maybe you need to create that space. Maybe you need to make just 15 minutes. You'd be amazed. And those of you that have been in homeroom can vouch for this. We did homeroom during the pandemic, where we just met for 15 minutes every day, every weekday. 15 minutes. That's all we did. 15 minutes. We got together, we opened a Zoom, and we got together and we said, hey, how you doing? What are you going to do today? And we just put some goals in there. And then we turned off our sound and we just sat there and worked together for 15 minutes. We made our schedule. We worked on something from yesterday. We did whatever. And then we came back and we put on a little music and we danced for a minute. And then we left. 15 minutes. And people wrote screenplays. People fell in love. They just got married on New Year's. It was amazing, the things that happened over that year in the pandemic. 15 minutes a day. If you can commit to yourself for 15 minutes, that you're going to at least just sit and contemplate what you want to do, or sit and write a list, or whatever it can be, that can really, really, really make a difference. So put those social influences in place, put those people that you want to listen to. And then what can you do today to get started? You know what? You already did it. You're here. You did it. You already did. Check. You already did something to get your 2023 off to a good start, right? You came, you showed up. Power of showing up is so amazing, right? You came and you were like, I'm in. I want to do something. I want to make my 2023 spectacular, and I'm in. So check. So after we're done here, you can be like, la, 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 I did my thing. I expect a dance break. And you can do your thing, right? So you can just one thing at a time. It doesn't have to be these big, oh, I need to go. I love people that say, oh, I need to go in a cabin and write my novel. What? So you see writers all the time. I know a lot of writers. I know Oscar-winning writers, and they just write. They find a place to write. They go to a coffee house. They go to whatever. They have their little spot, whatever it might be, and they just do it. Whether even 15 minutes a day. We had people in homeroom that wrote their screenplay doing 15 minutes a day. So what can you do today to get started? You did that already. So when you think about these questions, so these were questions for your life, right? That's all we have. These were the questions just to think about what you've already done, and also congratulate yourself, even if you made goals in the start of 2022 and then life happened and you didn't do those goals, but you did other things. Fantastic. Congratulate yourself for anything that you did do. Congratulate yourself for learning from the things that you didn't do. And often I think failure is a construct. I really feel that when we set a goal and we say, well, I'm going to do this, and if I don't, I failed. It's such a funny thing to me that we put that on it. Like, if it doesn't go the way I said it was supposed to go, then it failed. And it's like, wait a minute. When things don't go the way they're supposed to go, sometimes they go in a much better place. And the more that we can go, well, it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, but all this other stuff came out of it that I never would have had if it had gone exactly the way it was supposed to go. So that's a little bit of a wonk thinking, not quite as bad, because it's so ingrained in that things have to go a certain way to be successful. I didn't make enough money. When there's, one person will do one thing and they'll consider it a failure. Someone else, maybe I didn't finish my screenplay by April. Instead, I finished it in July. And there's another person going, I haven't even gotten page 1 done. there's always balance, right? It might not be the journey. I love this saying, life may not be the journey we expected, but while we're here, we might as well dance. It's so good, right? Like, it might not be exactly what you expected, but there's going to be so many gems inside of there. And one of the things we talk about as readers all the time is you find that hidden gem in a screenplay. So when you're reading a screenplay, every single screenplay, in my opinion, as a reader, and I've read 11,000 screenplays, so I've read a lot, and every single screenplay has something, some hidden gem of the voice of that writer, something that they were trying to get. Even if the screenplay is just a total disaster, there's something in there that writer that compelled that writer to sit down and write an entire screenplay. And for all the people that I know that say they want to write a screenplay versus all the people I know that actually sit down and do it, there's a huge gap in between. So those people that sat down and actually got to be able to write Fade to Black, they wrote that screenplay out. I have so much respect for every person that's done that. And so whether or not they did it well, whether or not that screenplay is a total mess, who cares? They did it. They got it done. And now there's something in there that compelled them to do that every day, to sit down and write that screenplay, however long it took, for a year, for 5 years, whatever it might have been. They did it. So it's our job as readers to find what is that thing. And if you find that you're reading screenplays and you're getting like bored or whatever, it's because you're not curious enough and you're not digging in and finding that hidden gem. And the same holds true for your life. You have hidden gems every day. Find them. Look for them. Don't look for the things that are going wrong. You'll find them. Whatever you look for, you will discover. So the more that we look at, oh, this didn't go the way I wanted, and this is so frustrating, and this, blah, 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 blah. And the more we do that, the more it's like, okay, here's another thing. You thought you were frustrated yesterday. Let me show what I can give you today. And it can just get like, what? And so the more that we can like ease, she says as her word, isn't Fade to Black a camera direction? So dancing in the rain, I love it. Yeah, it's just a result, not a failure. Tenacity, that's a good word. I love it. So the more that you can just, really just ease into that. You're constantly focusing on unlearning long-held beliefs, right? Focus on solving the tech. That's a great one. And, we had tech today, whatever, moving on, figuring it out, right? So, the word lies right in the middle of belief. So there are so many things that we believe that aren't even ours. Like, just listen to the voice and be like, oh, thanks, Mom. I'll let that one go now. So it's being able to just ease into the thing, find that hidden gem that's happening in your life every day. Because there's something, even the worst of days, there are things, there's something that you can gleam onto that will help you through that thing and going and finding your word, right? So I hope this is helpful for you to really, let's write your story, share in the Facebook group what you want to do. Take all of the things that we just talked about and find that word that really encompasses that will help you make those choices throughout the year so that you're not just trying to just soldier on and like write, I'm going to write my New Year's resolutions, just relax into it. Find the word that's going to help you play, have some ease, have some joy, have some fun as you look to what you're going to do and not be too married to an outcome, but instead be just embracing that journey, finding the gem along the way. And there's so much love and beauty and mindfulness in the world. And there's so much chaos and anxiety and headbutting. There's so much of all of it. So choose where you focus. I think Facebook is a really great indication and YouTube as well. It's a really indication of where you live because whatever you click on, you get more of. It's such a metaphor for life, right? And so, my Facebook feed is like puppies and babies and kids learning how to hear because I love those videos. So it's just like things that just, that's what. But I've seen other people whose Facebook thing is full of protesting. And even though, I'm up on news and I'm down for a good protest, if it's something that I believe in, I don't want to fill my every thought with that. I want to be able to have some ease and balance. And so whatever you're getting shown in your social media, it's because of something that you've clicked on, or whatever it might be. And so it's such a good reflection. So it's such a reminder, right? So look for the good, look for the things that will bring you ease, look for the people that will lift you up, Find the people that will have fun. You're here today. This says so much. So it's lovely to have you here. I hope this is helpful. You can go ahead and go to that link. Yay, now your feed is full of awesome furniture refinishing projects. I love it. And it's inspiring you. Yeah. I love your routine. Put your schedule in your day planner. Using Twitter to practice making concise statements. Oh, I love that, Katrina. That's awesome. Awesome. I love that. Sounds like my life. Lots of gems. Oh, so good, right? I love it. So it's really hard to stop the land side of things I didn't really want, but was just curious about for a minute. So good. So actively reboot the algorithm, which is, we can do that in our lives too. There's times when we can go down this slippery slope. You're curious about something. So it's such a great analogy, right? You're curious about something and you click on it, and then you get more of that. And you're like, wait. We do that in our lives as well. So let's click on the gems. Let's look for the things that are great, and let's write our story. So go through these questions, really take some time with them, and really write your story for 2023. Really write the story that you want for your life. It is possible. It's all possible. Whatever you want is possible. So really just ease into it. Write that story. If you want to join us on the 21st, it's going to be really fun. We're going to be like diving into these movies and how the arc of a story, all the things that match, why movies, when they fall into this pattern of storytelling, this is what we teach within our programs in the Screen Reader system. For those of you that are in our programs, it's a really great way to dive in and practically work together. There's exercises you'll be doing as groups. We'll be doing live. It's a chance. I'll answer all questions. It's a chance really to get to know each other. It's a really fun day. We also give out prizes. It's a really fun day. And it will really kind of help you understand what goes into really pulling apart that screenplay. And it's a chance to really dive in and actively do it. And then also on that page, just go down again, like to the place where it says rewrite your story, and you can get that free handout and move along. If you don't want to come to the event, that's fine too. We want you to do whatever works best for you and wherever you are in your life in this moment. So I love doing these. I have so much fun. It's happy New Year. So great to see you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you next time. All right, you guys have a beautiful, lovely day and a fantastic, spectacular, joyous, wacky, sloppy, messy, lovely New Year's. Consistency, right? You're the teacher in Charlie Brown. And on that note, we're going to head out and we're going to have a spectacular 2023. I'm going to pop on over to Instagram. We're going to do this again. And it's so great to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. Yay.